Pristine Posse, welcome back to my channel. I am back. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm back from Aruba, so I'm here with a part 2 to tell you all about it. So first off, sorry about the first video that was getting cut off because I didn't have enough battery or storage in the last video to like keep the video going, so it just cut off. But I'm here to give you the part 2. First off, let me give you a quick recap of Aruba itself. It is one happy island. This is like one of the sweaters that I got from the souvenir shop in the airport. So Aruba is known to be one happy island, like that's what they call themselves. Honestly, I was just happy to get away, be off work, and just vibe and relax. So Aruba was the right place to be. I will say that Aruba, or at least the area that I was at, it was very, very touristy. I felt like I brung everyone from Texas to Aruba because it was nothing but Americans there. But again, that was the area that I was at. However, I did have a good time. The Arubans that I did meet, they were very sweet and welcoming. The hotel staff was nice, airport staff was nice. Every staff member that I met at every location that I went to, they were very sweet and welcoming and nice. Now, they have a couple beaches in Aruba. Like there's Nikki Beach, there's Eagle Beach, and I went to Eagle Beach because all the Arubans told me that Eagle Beach is a nice, pretty beach with white sand. So I went to that beach and I was asking them, okay, is there gonna be flamingos there? Because I would love to like see the flamingos and, you know, pet them. And they said that the beach that has flamingos is at a private beach and you have to basically be at the Renaissance Hotel. And from the Renaissance Hotel, there is a ferry that takes you to the private island that has the flamingos. So me not knowing any better, I thought the flamingos were just everywhere at all the beaches in Aruba. No, they're not. So heads up, if you're trying to go to Aruba to see the flamingos, do your research. The tickets to get to the island, if you don't stay at the hotel, are like $120. Personally, I'm not spending $120 to go see birds. Like, I'm good. So I decided to skip that excursion. Another popular excursion they had in Aruba was to go horseback riding. However, didn't really make sense for me to leave the state of Texas to go horseback riding. You know, cowboy state, leaving the cowboy state to go ride a horse in Aruba. So I just decided to rest, relax, go to the beach, enjoy myself, have a little seafood here and there. So I did post a few shorts of some of the restaurants that I went to while I was out there. Be sure to check out those shorts and engage, like, comment, all that good stuff. And be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the Pristine Posse. Like the video and drop a nice purple heart for me if you're still here. Overall, Aruba was a nice, relaxing trip. I definitely needed that because holiday flying really took a lot of energy out of me. Almost every flight that I worked was a full flight. We had delays, we had cancellations, and the delays were never just 30 minutes. It would be like an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours, diversions. It was a lot going on. Every day was a fun-filled day, basically. I highly recommend that for all flight attendants, you need to rest and regroup in January. Unlike everyone else who had the holidays off to travel and have fun and rest, that's the time that flight attendants have to work. So January is our time to rest and relax, and the rest of the world can be go-getters and hustlers and hit the ground running with their resolutions and all that. No, for me, I had to take a break and get myself together. Now let's talk about the ride back to America. So of course, I'm flying standby. All right, so I choose a Delta flight to go from Aruba to Atlanta, and then I was going to book a flight from Atlanta to DFW and get there at least by Friday night because Saturday I was gonna have to be on reserve from 9 to 9. So I need to be in base and ready just in case they call me. The Delta flight was scheduled for 2:30 p.m. So I leave for the airport 2 hours early. And the one benefit about Aruba Airport is that you go through the Aruban customs and US customs, which means that once I get to America, I don't have to go through customs to exit the airport. Like anytime I go through an international place and I come to America, you have to go through customs. But since Aruba has a US customs as well, then that's done. So that's a really, really nice perk, because the one thing I want to do when I land in America is go home. I really don't want to have to go through customs and stay in that line and all that. So that's a nice perk about Aruba. So I get to the airport. The airport doesn't really have a lot of like food selections, so that sucked. I was actually hungry. I went to Quiznos and got the absolute worst sandwich of my life. Anyways, so I checked the standby list. There were 2 seats available for the Delta flight to Atlanta. So of course I'm staying positive. I didn't even look at the standby list. I just looked at how many seats were available. So I'm staying positive. Long story short, there were like 17 people on the standby list and I did not make it. So there was an American flight to go from Aruba to Boston. However, I really did not want to go all the way to Boston, or there was another flight to go to New York. I didn't want to go all the way to the East Coast because I had to go all the way to Texas after that, and that just would have called for a long day on the plane, and I didn't want to be on a plane that long. I saw that there was a Southwest flight that was going from Aruba to Orlando, which is MCO. That's the airport code for you guys, because we're going to get into that. So I booked the Southwest flight, and thankfully I was able to get on the Southwest flight. Now on this Southwest flight, I don't know what it is, but now that I'm a flight attendant, I know how all the rules go, what we're supposed to be saying on the intercom, all that good stuff. This is like my second time being on a Southwest flight as a flight attendant, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they can do whatever they want on these flights. Like, I just feel like their announcements are very much, they can wing it, say whatever, they can do whatever. Even when I'm on TikTok, I just feel like these Southwest flights and just have so much free range to say whatever they want. And they were running the plane, saying whatever they want, doing whatever they want. It was a 2 hour and 30 minute flight. They didn't do service until like an hour and 20 minutes into the flight. Like, to the point where I just thought they weren't gonna do service. And of course, I'm not gonna complain, because I get it. If you're a flight attendant and I don't know what type of day they had, but maybe they had a long day and they don't feel like doing service. So I didn't say anything, I didn't complain, but there were other passengers who were just like, are we gonna get any pretzels, cookies? Like, what's going on? So they finally passed out the cookies, passed out the pretzels. All right, so we finally make it to Orlando. So I booked another flight that was supposed to leave at 5:20 to go to Dallas. However, our flight was a little bit delayed, so we didn't arrive to Orlando until about 5 o'clock. So that left me 20 minutes to get to the next gate. I wasn't gonna make it. However, my flight to Dallas got delayed, and this was gonna be an American flight from Orlando to Dallas. So that flight got delayed to 7:30. So I had enough time to eat something and go to the gate, because it was actually a different gate. I was in gate C, I believe, but I need to be in gate B. So I get off the plane, and because of the US customs in Aruba, I don't have to worry about going through customs, which is great. So I'm still in the actual airport, already past TSA, so that's great. So basically from 5 to about 6:15, I'm just strolling around the Orlando airport. It's super cute, super nice. I asked this guy who's working at the airport, I'm like, hey, like, where do I go to get to B90? And he's like, oh, you just go through the line, the TSA line, you're here. Mind you, the TSA line is wrapped around, okay? It is super packed, extremely packed, like the Rihanna concert that will be on February 12th. It's that packed. And I'm just like, I shouldn't have to go through TSA because I just came from the C gates. And so he said that the C gates is not connected to the B gates, so you will have to go through TSA again. At this point, if I have to go through TSA, I'm gonna miss my flight because the line was super long. Luckily, I'm a flight attendant, so I told him, okay, where is KCM? KCM was all the way at the end of basically the building. That's the best way to explain it, at the end of the building. So at this point, I am just using the lucky girl syndrome. Like, I'm so lucky I didn't get random. I'm able to walk through, because at this point, if I get random, that means I have to go through the TSA line. And because I don't have my uniform on, I can't go through pre-check. I literally have to stand through the line. And if I have to stand through the line, I'm going to miss that flight. So I go to KCM. There's 2 people in front of me. Those 2 people did not get random. So now it's up to me. My heart is beating fast. Y'all, I scan my stuff. He checks it and he's like, you're good to go. Thankfully, I'm good to go. So I go through. Lucky girl syndrome worked. I finally make it to B90 and I go to the gate agent. They already have a ticket for me. So I'm like, great, I made it. I'm getting on this flight. I get on the flight. I have the window seat. So fast forward, I'm on the flight. I'm relaxing. Now we're going from Orlando, finally to Dallas. I'll get to Dallas at about 9:30. So it's already been a long day. I started my day at 11 a.m. Aruba time frame. So it's been a long day. So I'm on the plane and the flight attendant is doing service. And so she comes by, she's like, oh, would you like anything to drink? So I'm like, oh, I'll have white wine. So she kind of looks at me like, the look she gave me was like, are you even of age? Like, I don't like, and I'm just kind of like, girl, white wine, come on. So she gives me the white wine and I'm drinking it and I'm just kind of thinking like, why did she think I was a kid? I don't know. But whatever, that's beyond me. I was sitting next to a UM, so I don't know if she thought we were together or what. But so I'm minding my business, chilling, and then we're gonna call that same flight attendant, we're gonna call her Olga because she was Russian and Olga is a Russian name, okay? I can't do her accents, I'm not even gonna try. But anyways, so she comes back maybe like an hour into the flight and she's like, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, you need to talk to me, like, what's going on? And she was like, can you come here? And then I was just like, mind you, I'm sitting in the window seat, so that means I don't have to get up. Like, girl, whatever you need to tell me, just tell me now, because I shouldn't have to get up. Like, honestly, at this point, I'm tired. I don't feel like getting up. I'm like, what could you possibly need to talk to me about? Like, I'm not at work. Like, just tell me. You're gonna have to tell the whole plane at this point. So she's like, are you non-revving? Are you a flight attendant? And I was like, yes. So at this point, I'm like, am I about to get in trouble for having alcohol? Because 1, I'm of age. 2, I'm not in uniform. 3, like, I'm off work. Like, I don't understand, like, why would you be bothering me? So I'm really like, am I about to get in trouble? Like, what's going on? Olga proceeds to tell me that there's a passenger all the way in 27C who has a connecting flight and he's trying to make his flight to Australia. And do I mind moving out of my seat in 10A to go sit and switch with him so that he can have a better chance at making his flight to Australia? So I'm sitting there like, girl, like, why are you bothering me out of all people? Like, do you really think that I want to move all the way to the back to sit in the seat that he's been sitting in for an hour and a half in that hot seat? Like, you don't think I have somewhere to be? Like, I want to get off this plane just as much as he wants to get off this plane. And also, how much time am I really gonna save him by switching seats? Honestly, these are all my thoughts in my head. So basically, after she asked me that, I was just like, sure, I don't mind. I don't mind. That's what I said. So she was like, okay, thank you so much. So she came back, gave me another drink because, of course, like, I have to move. And she was telling me that she will move me like 20 minutes before we land. So I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up moving with the guy. I mean, in my head, I really didn't want to move, but at the same time, I'm going home. It's not like I have a connecting flight. Like, just do it. So I just did it. So I moved. I don't know if he made his flight or not, but I'm just glad I wasn't getting in trouble for anything because I definitely did not have time for that. But she was not concerned at all about me having alcohol, whether I was on the clock, off the clock, none of that. We finally land and I finally make it home. So that was a long, long day. Then when I get home, y'all, I'm on call the very next day on Saturday from 9 to 9. And by the grace of God, I did not get called. So I'm super thankful for that because I was drained from all that flying the day previously. So that is just the gist of my standby travel coming back to America from Aruba. Maybe not go on Fridays at the same time. Just go with the mindset that you only need one seat. It's not impossible. I definitely would not recommend doing it on Sunday. Friday is risking it. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, no. I would never come back on a Monday like that, unless it was the first flight of the day. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what type of content you would like to see in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.